I am Dmytro Komarov, and I have always been looking for places of power all over the world. The Buddha chose this place not for nothing to appear in the future. From Everest, to Fujiyama. Hooray! But the real place of power is here. This is Ukraine. I'm very surprised, can't get away from it. I've never seen anything like this before. Yeah. The whole world calls us strong, indestructible, resilient, heroic, and brave.
Look how I mow, look.
Thanks to people like them, well, I got to tell you, that's what keeps our morale up. But what is behind those beautiful words? We are riding in a small group, said there are drones hovering over the site and 3 GBUs coming. What makes us Ukrainians strong? Let's find out together. That's a brilliant answer. I've never heard that before in my search of power. Time to drive on to explore the incredible Ukraine. The world inside out with Dmytro Komarov, Ukraine. In previous episodes, we started a large-scale expedition. We traveled deep into the Carpathian Mountains to find the source of strength of real Highlanders. And find a man who consistently, a year round, lives above everyone else in Ukraine. All right, let's go. Yeah, let's go. Oh my God! We visited all the highest points where people could potentially live, except for one. We did not have time to check the plot in the village of Burkut, which, as professional geographers say, is the highest in Ukraine. It's really hard, I'm sinking in so bad. Well, by the ridge, you're not gonna get along the ridge. I said very bad snow. Look, my foot is sinking through. So there's no chance. But the rescuers of the State Emergency Service promised to visit this point during a routine inspection and find out if anyone lives there in winter. We will be able to visit this point. Can you make us a video? We'll try. And now, 2 weeks later, they send us this video. This is a very important moment for us, because it determines who wins in our year-long research. The owner of this building or Ms. Fedora, who we found on our own back in the summer. Here we are, at the location of the house. We are now in the village of Burkut, Zelena Rural Hromada, Verkhovina district. Altitude is 1479 meters above sea level. We arrived to the house. It is actually very difficult to get here. There is no access road, only on foot. House restored because it was covered in wood shingle. Restored to keep it from leaking. Try the door to see if anyone is in the house. Closed. The doors are closed, so we won't be able to go in there. People used to live here, but at the moment, as we can see, no one lives here. There used to be a resort in the village of Burkut, known for its healing water. Wounded soldiers were brought here for rehabilitation during the First World War. But since 2008, the village became almost deserted. Only a few dilapidated houses remain. And as our research has shown, there are no permanent residents here now. It's noticeable that no one has lived here for a long time, and time has done its work. So friends, now we begin the final part of the expedition to find the highest dwelling in Ukraine. We already know that the winner is Fedora, from the village of Verkhny Yalovets. She lives the highest in Ukraine, the closest to the sky. She doesn't know yet that we are coming, and we prepared a surprise for her, because we're not alone in our way. Good afternoon. Hello. I'm Dmytro, Andriy. I'm a certified survey engineer, an employee of the SOE Research Institute of Geodesy and Cartography. Nice, so you're going to make everything official. We'll measure everything. Mr. Vitaly, good afternoon. Mr. Vitaly, I don't think you need to be introduced to the viewers of our program. Mr. Vitaly has recorded many records with us all over the world. Hooray! 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 I hope, Vitaly, that today will also be a very important record, because it was news and surprise for me when I learned that in 2025 the highest housing in Ukraine was not registered. Yes, the record is not yet registered, but I'm a certified now mountain expert, so the record will be made. I invite you to an unforgettable journey. I was so scared to drive over this abyss. In 50 centimeters to the edge. Scary like real road of death. In the forest is already better. Well, lucky, of course, that there's not much snow here. But compared to the summer, when we used to get here by jeep, now it's just a pleasant excursion, because this vehicle can pass everywhere. Here we are already approaching, friends, the last meters, and I can already see the house of Miss Fedora. There are some traces here, someone came to see her. Well, Miss Fedora, this is Dmytro Komarov.
I didn't recognize you. Oh, really?
I saw you over the summer. What's news? What's news since then?
Nothing. You know, I had a hard time making hay. Mowed it myself and hired one man to mow it for me. I don't have enough hay.
Can I get here with this tractor?
No, won't be able.
It will go through. Yeah, I'll do it.
Where are you going to go? Snow. It's going to sink in the snow.
It's not. It's an all-terrain vehicle.
You won't drown?
Yes, it's an ITV.
See it yourself, as long as you don't get stuck in the snowdrift and there is no need to pull you out. Come on,
As always, we brought you something. It's for the horses.
bring it over here. I'll show you where.
Where to? Let's go. I've brought you guests. Now I'll introduce you. Ms. Fedora, greetings. I am a surveyor. We will measure the exact altitude of your house to a few centimeters. And this gentleman is the head of the National Registry of Records. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
With this professional instrument, we'll measure the altitude at the very point where I was standing at the time. Then we measured here with such an ordinary pocket altimeter. It didn't get corrections from the base station. Today we're using a traditional method, geodetic surveying, the most accurate one. This one is made in Ukraine. It is a global navigation satellite system receiver that receives signals from all existing satellite systems. There are satellites that fly in orbit. There is a ground receiver that sees the signals from the satellites, and there is another stationary receiver that is corrected from the ground. And so, as a result of mathematical calculations in this field controller, we get the coordinates of the Earth's surface with centimeter accuracy. Now we have direct contact with space, with satellites, and we don't just measure the approximate height with an error of a meter. Now we measure it to the nearest centimeter. Yes, we can see this in real time. So let's start measuring on our fixed point. We are making measurements in static mode. It's going to take about 30 to 40 minutes. And during this time, while the receiver makes all the observations, we will scan the area. This will give us a very detailed survey of the area. The laser scanner produces 320,000 points per second. And when we go around the area, we'll get a fully detailed geo-reference point cloud, which we can then use to measure all the geometric parameters. So there we'll have 1 point altitude, and here we'll be able to see the elevation at any point on the plot. Yes, we will be able to see it in 3D, see any point and know its elevation. By the way, we have common concepts in geodesy. You call it shooting, and so do we. Only with us it is geodetic shooting. Miss Fedora, you're welcome to join us. Come. Come to us, please. Tell me the result. The elevation mark is 1,335 meters and 70 centimeters. 1,335 meters. This is a record of Ukraine. That is precisely 1,335 meters. Show it on camera, please. H is an altitude marker. H, 1,335 meters. Ms. Fedora, you are the only one in Ukraine who lives above everyone else. You live above 365 days a year. You run your household higher than anyone else in Ukraine. You are the closest in Ukraine to the sky.
Yes, that's right.
Dear Ms. Fedora, based on our standardized measurements, your house is recognized as the highest dwelling in Ukraine. Congratulations! Record of Ukraine. Official. What do you feel now?
Well, it's all good, as long as it stays that good.
We wish that faith will lead you further in life. And we in 10 years, in 20 years, came here and always knew that we have a beautiful Miss Fedora here.
Good, thank you. God grant that God prolong our lives.
But it's not all the surprises for Miss Fedora. Let's tell Miss Fedora what will be here thanks to this battery. You'll have electricity. You can turn on the radio. You can even have a refrigerator. Historical moment.
That's it.
The light bulb inside your house. So turn it on. Just like that, see? It works. And it's time for us to embark on a new expedition. And right now we are moving to the south of our country. Leaving the Carpathians, we not only found a woman who today lives above everyone else in Ukraine, but also found something that every day, even in this difficult moment, gives the strength to the Highlanders.
We know how to keep our traditions alive. I have prayer first and foremost. I pray, then I feel better. You can't get anywhere without God.
Strength in nature, in unity with nature. Love for my profession, rescuing people in the mountains. We met quite a few common and yet very strong people in the mountains, who live very close to the heavens. I can confidently say that each of our heroes have a very strong spirit and good heart. And although their lives are difficult in some places, they do not lose faith, are grateful for what they have, and choose to live each day at home up high. And our next point is a historical region in the south of Odessa region, Bessarabia. We're here to see how live one of Ukraine's largest national minorities, the Bulgarians. Studying the life and culture of Ukrainian Bulgarians, the first thing we should probably talk about is grapes. Because there is not a single family in this region which would not grow grapes, which would not offer wine instead of tea to guests. It is said here that on average one family produces a ton of wine a year. And now we go to one of the families who is harvesting grapes today. I was expecting to see something like a small home vineyard, like a vegetable garden near the house, but what opened in front of me was a real vineyard. As if I got to an industrial production, not a private plot. Let's take a look at how this celebration takes place. A celebration of the grape harvest, a family celebration. Wow!
That's the kind of traditions we have.
Bravo, bravo! You know, so meditative. I just listened to it. I was immersed in some other atmosphere, as if I'm not in Ukraine anymore.
It's from where we migrated from.
These people, or rather their ancestors, moved to Ukraine more than 200 years ago, about the same time when, for example, Mykolaiv or Dnipro city were founded. The reasons why Bulgarians settled here today, millions of Ukrainians will understand. Their homeland, the Balkan Peninsula, was attacked by the Ottoman Empire. Fleeing the war, these people became forced migrants. Thanks to their cohesion, culture and strength, today they are one of the largest national minorities in Ukraine. But teach me something simple in Bulgarian. For example, hello, how's the mood, how are you?
Здоров.
Здоров.
Акеси.
Акеси.
Ако правиш?
Здоров, Акеси, ако правиш?
Or here, when you wake up,
Добър ден.
and we have the answer.
Дал Бог добро.
God gives you good.
Добре дошли.
Добре дошли, what's that?
It's good that you came.
I see you communicate well in Ukrainian, you in Russian. And what language do you think in?
I'm Bulgarian. We are proud of our Ukrainian culture, but we also preserve our Bulgarian traditions, songs, culture.
So you once again confirm that Ukraine is a multicultural country with many nationalities, many different people who all live in Ukraine but are slightly different by traditions, by religion, by language. What's Bulgarian for let's go work?
We always say,
Айде да работим. Let's go work.
let's go work, yes.
And although it seems that this work is simple, just take and pack, but there are subtleties and secrets in this job.
In order to pick grapes, we look both from underneath and open all the branches. If something fell, my grandfather used to say to pick it up. That's the way we were raised to appreciate.
Meditative such a thing. Picking, thinking about something, fresh air, smell of leaves, smell of grapes. I like it. This is Cabernet, and this is Aligot. White variety, from it we made accordingly white wine. What do you prefer, Russian or Ukrainian? I'm more comfortable with Russian. Comfortable, okay. They say that when growing the grapes, you need to come periodically, talk to it, communicate. Even old people told us that it is necessary to kneel in front of the bush, so that it would give a good harvest. If I come in sad, angry, what happens to the grapes? You won't get that crop, you won't get that quality. Did you ever experience someone coming in angry, in a bad mood, and the grapes come bad? Old people say it was. What's next? We load it and take it to the village for processing. This is, friends, Bulgarian everyday life in Ukraine. Dmytro, and this table, one we're taking with us because while we're making wine, we'll drink 50 grams and this will be an appetizer. 50 grams right away? Sure. I can do it without this, right? No, of course not. Otherwise the wine would be bad. So in brief, I'm calling the driver to your home right away. Call driver and you leave tomorrow. Friends, in this kind of place, it's impossible not to have a drink. Along with the harvested grapes, we go home to our new friends, the village of Krynichne. 8 generations ago, it was founded by the ancestors of these people. Today, every yard here turns into a small winery. And now we will also make wine. Let me show you that we have started the process of cooking the lamb. While it's cooking, we'll be making wine. What's going on here? This is a young lamb, 7 months old. The dish that is made from it is called hot kavarma. We melted internal fat. Now we start roasting large pieces, then add small pieces, and it all cooks in its own juice. The recipe for kavarma is said to have been invented hundreds of years ago by Balkan shepherds. Hearty and easy to prepare kavarma gave them plenty of energy while herding sheep. You have to add it bit by bit. The most important thing here is to throw large pieces. And these giblets are already cooked. We made so that you can snack on them. This is liver, kidneys and heart.
Come with me. Let's fire up the stove. We'll make bread.
Okay, so here's no waiting around. They said you can't wait because now another very important process is starting here, baking bread.
God help us to make it right.
How old is this stove?
25 years. So here we have, I can show you. The bread is almost ready.
Wow, what a bread! What a beauty!
This one is barbaric. This is donut, kalach. It used to always be baked as a memorial going to the cemetery. And this is a cheese pita, like this, beans and eggs.
And this, by the way, is not just any bread. It's on the UNESCO list of intangible heritage. It's not without grapes either. The dough itself is said to contain wine yeast. And the stove for flavor here is melted not with wood, but with grape wine.
We heat the stove for an hour. We have to warm it up well so that it can give heat to the bread. Then the bread will be rich, warm, delicious, with a smell of smoke.
So we're going back to meat for now, right?
Yeah, I'll call you.
So all the processes are parallel. What's up? How's it going? Meanwhile, not wine or even lamb, but another grape product is already waiting for us in the courtyard. And here I see you already. The owner brought us one. It was full, but I think it is cracked somewhere. Is there one shot glass for everyone? The owner drinks first and then pours for everyone. Let's do it. We always had the first word, "Hey, God willing, peace and health." Always peace and health. Peace and health. Never have these words been as relevant as they are now. I want when we say peace and health, that we live in peace and health. God grant you peace and health. God willing. That's it. I can stay in today, no more driving. We finish the giblets and go to make wine. It's delicious. Just salt and black pepper. Nothing there. Our ancestors had nothing else at hand. That's how they cooked, basically. Oh, and red peppers. Look, there it is. There's a red pepper growing. Can you show me? Sure. Let's go. I think I'll never get to wine at this rate. Here it is, friends. In our country, bell peppers are called Bulgarian peppers. Just off the bat and opening up. What a beauty. By the way, Bulgarian peppers do not come from Bulgaria at all. Its homeland is considered the foothills of the Andes, which is now the territory of Bolivia. The first European who got acquainted with this vegetable was Christopher Columbus. It was he who brought pepper seeds to Europe. It was only in the 19th century that it came to us via the Balkans. Sweet, sweet paprika. Here we've seen how bell peppers grow. Now we're going to see how they're dried. Today, bell pepper is an integral attribute of local cuisine. It is added to chopped salad in soups and is also made into a flavorful spice. So that's him, right?
Yes, of course.
Here's a pepper from the bed, a bell pepper. They are sliced and dried. And then they grind it up and get paprika. And that's what it looks like. Can I try it?
Sure.
Sweet, tasty. Let's go make wine now. Making wine? That's the most interesting thing. That's what we came here for, to make wine. The winemaking process is about to begin. All the preludes are over.
Wine and one more thing. Say arpazhik.
Arpazhik.
Here, after people see the arpazhik, they will remember Krynichne. The whole Ukraine will remember.
Arpazhik is what?
Arpazhik is a sowing onion.
Okay, let's go look at the onions. Let's go. By our 2 hours of socializing, it was clear. You can't just start making wine until you see everything that Bulgarians are proud of. Here is a legendary arpazhik of Bulgarians who live in Odessa region in Bessarabia. Tell me, I'm looking at just a regular onion, a small one. From this little onion grows a big onion. It can be sown without irrigation. Is it a finished product, seeds? It's a seed. They're seeds. They're just seeds. For the locals, this is not just onion seed, but real gold. Firstly, almost all the arpazhik which can be seen in Ukraine are grown here, in Krynichne. And secondly, for all residents, this onion is the main source of income for many years now. Every family grows those seeds, every family. That's why our houses are so long precisely to store our business. From so much Bulgarian gastronomic flavor, the head goes round. And this we have not yet reached the wine. I'm already imagining myself as a character in a movie where Adriano Celentano crashes grapes with bare feet. But in life, things turn out to be a little different than in the movie. The bag, we put the grapes in it. A man washes his feet with warm water, necessarily barefoot. 15 to 20 kilograms of grapes are put into the bag. Then we lay it there and stomp it for 20 minutes. But that's totally, excuse me, Stone Age. They don't do that anymore. They don't because it is now easier to use these machines, easier and faster. And the actual effect of that method is bigger and better. Why? There's wild yeast in the rinds. And when we grind them, they are disturbed. And when we stomp it that way, there's more of it left in the juice. And fermentation not only happens faster, but it is also better. The quality of fermentation for wine is also a big factor. But time has shown that this process is very long and more difficult for people. Why do you need this technology then? Do you continue to use it? It's just that people have gone for quantity over quality, but we want quality. So you said that speed is the most important thing. Let's conduct an experiment to demonstrate the difference in speed. Let's split into two teams. We'll divide the grapes in half. We'll do half using the modern way and half using the ancient way. Okay, I'm already telling you the result. Here will be 2 to 3 times faster. Well, let's see. The important thing is to wash your feet. Good. No decent jokes come to mind. I cut my nails and wash my feet, so I'm gonna ask to go in there. You're welcome. So, friends, we have 11 boxes of aligot. Half is 5.5 boxes. 5.5 by the modern method, 5.5 by the stomping method. We've all seen it in movies, in books, in textbooks, but here, for the first time, I will not only see, but I will personally trample grapes with my feet. So friends, Mr. Alexander, Mr. Stepan and Mr. Dmytro, this is the team that will be called Barefoot, and the second team, Mr. Dmytro, Mr. Ivan and Mr. Petro, they will do it using modern method. And we'll see who is faster, who will do more, who will do better. Washing our feet, eh? Yeah. Giving up my seat? Come on. Who has a phone with a stopwatch? Give it to me.
Here is a stopwatch.
All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, go! Oh, like that. It's going and going fast. Wow! 20 seconds and half a bucket. We have our first bucket ready to go. You? We don't have one yet, but while you're changing the bag, we'll make 2 buckets. So first bucket, that's pretty quick. We're already launching press. Well, there goes my turn. Speed up! Hi friends, I don't know about work, but my support group is definitely better. This, friends, is how you see a technology that is hundreds of years old. This is how wine was made a long time ago. What's the point? Why feet? Because the seeds don't break, they stay whole. And they don't change the flavor of the wine, unlike the competitor's shredder, which unwittingly you can grind the seeds. Come on, come on, come on, come on! I think we have a chance to win. Yes, 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 yes. You work, I'll see how the competition is doing there. Right here, friends, you can see how the process is done with modern technology. It's just a guy spinning this grinder, roughly speaking, and the juice runs off in the rain. Pretty cool. I'm going back to my team. We have a third! It's raining hard. We're stopping at the 3-3 mark. 3 buckets for us, 3 for the competitors. It's raining too hard. We're hiding for now. We're waiting for the rain to pass and then we will continue the work. Now they covered all the equipment and grapes with foil to keep rainwater out. Meanwhile, the bread was already finished in the oven. And Miss Valentina came to treat us. Traditionally, it is served with paprika, which gives it a special flavor that fills everything around. How do you say very tasty in Bulgarian? Very tasty.
Много добре? Много добре. Много добре.
That's it, the rain is ending. We can continue the process. Hooray!
Hooray!
Оп.
Before the rain started, both teams made 3 buckets each. Then, while it was raining, from here the grapes gave a little more juice.
Трошки віддавав.
And they got a 4th bucket.
Четверте відро.
And now they have 4 buckets, we have 4 buckets. But we have 2 more boxes of grapes, and they're out of grapes. What does that tell you? That we're juicing more juice.
Току.
Yes.
And right here, friends, you see they put the leftover grape cake in this machine. And then they press it. See, you can screw a nut in here and press it all down. How old is this machine? This is my grandfather's from 1958. From year 58? Wow! There you go, friends, watch this. A press that squeezes out the juice. 30 more liters of wine. So you see, it seems that everything has been squeezed out, only the cake is left, but there will still be 3 buckets. At least 3.
Оп. Давайте. О. Під музику продовжуємо.
With the music playing, we keep working. I'm working on the press, they're working by feet.
Ногами.
Everybody dance, sing. Just like that, with music, we have our 6th bucket ready. Let's go. Pouring out the 6th bucket. This is really fun.
Опа.
Nice.
Ось так, друзі.
This, friends, is how a family holiday of grape harvesting looks like in the Bulgarians of Odessa region. Krynichne village. We invite tourists. A little bit about technology. Next, what happens to the juice? It goes into the barrel. I'll tell you. Now it will ferment for 10 to 12 days. The optimum is 25 degrees for fermentation. It will take 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks. Then it will steep up completely. In 35 to 40 days, it will be ready to drink. Champagne is crying out of this wine. Yeah, it will cry. Okay, the juice is fermenting, turning into wine. Press, what happens to that juice? Does it go in the same place and with the cake? Then we put the cake in a separate bowl, add some water and sugar, and make our traditional rakia. Like moonshine. Yeah, kinda like moonshine. Okay, so we're summarizing the results. Although we was squeezing out a little bit longer, we got about 6 and you got about 5. So it turns out that in terms of speed, our team lost. In terms of quantity, our team won. You see, there are no winners, no losers. All one family. So what's next? That's it? Let's do red. Only after all the white grapes have been squeezed, you can squeeze the red grapes. White first because it needs to be white. If you do red first, everything will be red. We continue to do it our way. Do you have any songs about grapes? We have 500 songs about grapes, 499 about red grapes, and 1 song about white grapes. White grapes, why aren't you red? Red wines are liked more, aren't they? Of course. Well, now, friends, no more competition. Just working, making Cabernet. When the grapes are processed, the main, most interesting part of the celebration begins, the preparation for the feast. This here is lamb in its own juice, without any water, cooked on the fire as our ancestors did.
Cross the bread. With God's help, that all will be well.
So mandatory is to cross the bread.
Yes, we crossed it at the beginning and in the end. That's how my grandmother taught me. Thank God for our daily bread.
Are you people of faith?
Yes,
Do you go to church on Sundays?
not every Sunday, but sometimes.
Friends, let's get to the table. Bulgarian utensils in which wine is poured are called klitsa. Through these ancient klitsa, we communicate with our ancestors. Such a belief. Energy is transmitted through them. Is that all the utensils? Yes, of course.
It must be about 50 years old by now.
Tell me, what's the most important thing on the table here?
Bread, lamb, hot kavarma, our traditional kapusnyak, as it cooked here, is not cooked anywhere else. Zelnik,
What is a zelnik?
very thin sheets of brinza with milk, sour cream, butter. This is baked in the oven.
A typical feast for Bulgarians.
Yes, in our village, we have preserved many traditions, those that Bulgaria has lost. St. George's Day, where a lamb is cut. Ritual bread is baked. Bulgaria does not have all this, they have lost it all. They come to us.
And they study traditions here.
Yes,
От хочеться
I would like to ask the younger generation, are you going to live like your parents, grandparents?
бабушки, дедушки.
Partly I see my future here. Partly I don't. Explain, please. Because all my relatives are here, there are a lot of relatives here, the culture I already used to, and yet you want to live. Yes, because the situation in the country is not the best, as I can say. I want to live. To Bulgaria? Probably yes. How old are you? 15. And when do you plan to leave? At the end of the year, the 25th. Any plans to come back after your studies? Of course, there are plans to come back, and I think if already will be a better situation in the country. If there's a war, you'll be overseas. If there's no war, you'll come back, right? Yes. Same question. Are you going to stay or are you going to leave? Leave. When? After finishing 11th grade. Where to go? Bulgaria. Why was such a decision made? To get further education and feel safe. Young man, what is your name? Kirilla, I'm going to leave too. Well, it's not safe here. I think so. You see, unfortunately, you ask young people and hear that they are leaving. But I would like to see such guys stay here, develop krinichne, raise lambs, help their parents to bake bread, pick grapes, make wine, and popularize tourism. After all, who else but you to develop tourism here? Everything is better at home, everything is more dear to me at home, and somehow I don't even want to go anywhere, just stay in the village, but because of the war you have to. It's a pity that many young guys choose to leave Ukraine, but one would really hope that they will come back after all. This is what is happening in Donbass right this very second right now. It's hell there now. There's shooting. There are guys dying there, and there is such a frontline tradition. We must remember those who protect us, thanks to whom a full life is possible, such as yours, for example. And to remember that many, unfortunately, will not return from the front. When you come to the guys at the front, one toast is necessarily the need to silently remember those who left, and a little then pour it out on the ground in memory of those who defend our land.
we sing today because we're together, because we're gathered. It may be the only day of the month. We get together, we work, we have fun. It's a release. But in general, we are already tired of the constant hates, where we look at Ismail, Vilkovo, Tuzli. Of course, we're anxious all the time. We're tense all the time. There are guys who are from our village, and they are already buried.
How many from your village died? 4. So there are 3 people officially dead, 1 missing in action, and there are many more Serbs. How many Serbs? Dozens? More, a lot more. I'd not want this war to be a reason for my children to leave, because I see a future for my children in this country. I don't see any future in any other country. I think one of the best countries with great potential, with great opportunities, but unfortunately, this scourge came. You said a very important thing. You said, in your opinion, it's one of the best countries. Believe me, we have traveled, we have seen it. I'm often asked the question, what country you would like to live in? I always answer, only Ukraine. It's the best. I want to live only here. Ukraine has everything. In this season of the World Inside Out Ukraine, our main purpose is to find sources of strength of Ukrainians and Ukraine. The whole world now says that the Ukrainians are strong, sees it, does not believe that we are resisting a rival that is dozens of times larger in area and weapons. In the Hutzels Mountains, we looked for their source of strength.
The sun, when it rises in the morning, gives me strength. If I pray in the morning, I feel good all day long.
And you here, what gives you strength and what is your strength?
When Bulgarians were settling, fleeing from the Turkish yoke, they wrapped in cloth, carrying a page of land from there. Every Bulgarian strength is in the land. Our strength is that we live where we were born. We're not running away from anywhere. And as a Bulgarian proverb says, a heavy stone has weight in place. If you are in your sphere, in your surroundings, then you feel confident.
Very wise. A stone has weight where it was born. God willing that traditions, culture, language be preserved. Cheers, be well. You're welcome.
Будьмо! Гей! Будьмо! Гей! Будьмо! Гей, гей, гей!
Dmytro, we used to be given special woven rushniki to the dearest guests at weddings in our homeland. These rushniki are more than 150 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, like this. It's our custom. May you do this? Like this.
Ой!
This one is made by my great-grandmother.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
It's all handmade. All right, young man. This will be your memory of Krynichne and our family.
God bless you. And I would like to come here already in peacetime, to see many tourists here. Prosperous village Krynichne. God willing, it will be like that.
I'd like to teach you to dance our Bulgarian round dance.
I'm totally bad at dancing, but just for you.
I'll teach you anyway. Come on.
Just walking away didn't work.
The movements are very simple. The main thing is to be able to count. We make the right foot 2 steps forward. 1, 2, 3, hold and lift, 4, 5, hold, 6, and again.
I have 2 right feet.
No, it's fine.
Or 2 left feet.
It's all good. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Today we have learned about the strength of Ukrainian Bulgarians. What allows them to feel at home in our country and preserve their traditions for several centuries despite all wars and troubles. The secret of the strength of these people is in unity, because here the whole community celebrates and works together. In hard work, they never seem to stop, and in the desire to preserve and increase what their ancestors created. And although these people preserve Bulgarian traditions, they are Ukrainians. And in this diversity lies the strength of the Ukrainian people. Well, friends, together with this dance, we finish our journey to the Bulgarians of Odessa region and go to study the underside of Ukraine further. See you soon.
Зустрічей!
Watch the next program. Are you with us? We're heading closer to the front.
Вокзал.
The station and everything near it has been destroyed. To understand what the rear is really like, I've never had a mojito in a frontline zone before. Non-alcoholic, I hope. On a special train.
We're going to Kramatorsk, to my husband. My husband is a military man.
To a special person. The whole village knows, right?
The whole region, not the village.
To fulfill this legend's main dream. This is the first such document. And learn exclusive wartime secrets. Fighter jets flies alongside the train. Also smell the gateway to the front.
This one smells the most.
The World Inside Out with Dmytro Komarov, Ukraine.